I want to talk to you about the Tower of Babel. Now, whilst the world will tell you that the earth is millions of years old, maybe even billions, as Christians we believe that the world is little over 6,000 years, in accordance with what the Bible teaches us. And so it's been estimated that creation occurred around 4004 BC, the flood 2348 BC, and the Tower of Babel about 100 years after the flood, 2242 BC. By then we can estimate that the population of the world would just be around 1,000 people. Incidentally, the call of Abraham was around 1922 BC. Let me just set the scene before we look at the passage which is in Genesis chapter 11 and verses 1 to 9. God had told Noah's family to be fruitful and multiply and to fill the earth. By the time of Babel, people decided they didn't want to be dispersed over the earth. So they gathered together to build a city with a great tower. There seems to be a lot of evidence that many of the pagan religions over the years had their origin at the Tower of Babel. Sadly, from their own human pride and self-centeredness, they were intent on defying God's decree to fill the earth. It was as if they were shaking their fist at God and saying, "We can do whatever we want to do." How quickly they must have forgotten the judgment God had meted out at the flood because of man's wickedness. What happened at Babel must have been very wicked because God stepped into history again to judge man for rebellion. Let's read the passage, starting at verse 1. Now the whole earth had one language and one speech. And it came to pass as they journeyed from the east that they found a plain in the land of Shinar, that's at Babylonia, and they dwelt there. Then they said to one another, "Come, let us make bricks and bake them thoroughly." They had brick for stone and they had asphalt for mortar. And they said, "Come, let us build ourselves a city, and a tower whose top is in the heavens. Let us make a name for ourselves, lest we be scattered abroad over the face of the whole earth." But the Lord came down to see the city and the tower which the sons of men had built. And the Lord said, "Indeed, the people are one, and they all have one language. And if this is what they begin to do, now nothing that they propose to do will be withheld from them. Come, let us go down and there confuse their language, that they may not understand one another's speech." So the Lord scattered them abroad from there over the face of all the earth, and they ceased building the city. Therefore its name is called Babel, because there the Lord confused the language of all the earth, and from there the Lord scattered them abroad over the face of all the earth. Now the Bible clearly reveals that the people were rebelling in unison against God's command to fill the earth, as given in Genesis chapter 9 verses 1 and verse 7. Furthermore, the people knew the command and they were intentionally trying to defy it, because verse 4 indicates that they were resisting the imperative to be scattered abroad. Lest we be scattered abroad. The point is that the people collectively resisted God, and the people collectively received this mild judgment of confused languages. They were acting of one accord, the Bible tells us in verse 6. Indeed, the people are one, it says. To make a name for themselves, verse 4, which is reminiscent of the rebellion prior to the flood, when people had their own interests in mind to be men of renown. You see, the people were filled with pride, and God hates pride. He's a jealous God. Satan fell from heaven because of pride. The people of Babel rejected the word of God to be fruitful and to fill the whole earth. They wanted to bring glory to themselves, not God, to celebrate their achievements, all the wonderful things that they could do. And they were united in their rebellion. You know, unity is the most powerful force that can be used, but it can be used for good or for evil. Unity is so powerful, but for one's purposes to be thwarted, all that needs to happen is for unity to be destroyed. Let us protect, let us work hard to preserve the unity of our churches, the relationships we enjoy, but let us first ensure that we are being obedient to God in all that we do and teach, that the Lord will have his hand upon us and will bless us. God bless you.